terms of our presentations today. So I have started recording, and you can see that notification come across your screen. Hi, everybody. My name is Kyle Tweet, and I am the Communications and Outreach Coordinator for the Vermont Department of Labor. If you aren't already aware, you're a part of today of our second of two virtual job fairs for Northwest Vermont. And a part of our series of job fairs, the Department of Labor in the state of Vermont have kind of come together to just be able to, amidst COVID-19 and everything that's new and different and evolving in this time, just to be able to provide you as job seekers and maybe partners, whoever you are representing today, with an opportunity to meet with employers virtually. And for employers, the great employers that we have with us today, to be able to provide some background on the careers and job openings that they currently have available with their respective companies. So looking forward to hearing. And if you missed this morning's session, we will be sending out the links this afternoon or likely tomorrow with connections to the YouTube video, as well as the highlighted employers page where you can just go in and find the positions that you're interested in. Just so that if you're not aware, the Department of Labor has offices across the state, but likely you are coming to this because you are located or are interested in work in northwestern Vermont, likely the Burlington, St. Albans area. We have offices both in Burlington and St. Albans. So if you, after today's meeting, if you find yourself, looking for assistance in applying for these careers or others, please feel free to reach out to our office. We have a few people on the call today that are a part of our Department of Labor team. So please feel free to reach out to the Department of Labor. But again, just as a few housekeeping things, if you were not a part of this morning's session, down at the bottom of your screen, you will see a toolbar if you're on the computer, which looks like most everybody is. You have your ability to turn on and off your camera as well as your mic. We would ask that you keep your microphones muted throughout this presentation and throughout this event, but also that when the employers are speaking, that we turn off our cameras, which is what I will be doing to give them the spotlight so that they can present adequately. In addition, just in terms, if you look farther to your right, I would invite you at the end of this presentation, at the end of their presentations, to click the little hand that actually raises your hand and alerts me as today's moderator that you would like to speak. If you're brave enough to ask a question over the camera, fantastic. We like to encourage that. But if you're, maybe just a little hesitant, you can also post in the chat, which is the next one over, where it says "Show Conversational Square" with some lines in it. You can be sure to check that out there. If you're on a mobile device, it's probably in the top right-hand corner of your screen as well. So please feel free to monitor the chat throughout this, as there will be some really cool information being posted, whether it be links to websites or videos or contact information from employers as well as the Department of Labor. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our employers today. If we could just go in alphabetical order. Whitney to Sabrina to Susan. If you each could just go real quick and introduce yourselves, first and last name, the company you're with, and then we'll get things started after that. So go ahead, Whitney.
Cool. I am Whitney Harris. I'm the manager in Colleagues and Culture at Aspenty Health. Colleagues and Culture is also human resources. So yeah, nice to meet you all.
Awesome. Thank you. And Sabrina.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Milano. I'm with Home Instead Senior Care, and we're located in Shelburne, and I'm recruitment and engagement.
Awesome. And certainly last but not least, Susan.
Hi, my name's Susan Bishop. I'm a corporate recruiter with Loomis Armored, calling from Houston, Texas, but we represent over 400 offices all over the country and the world.
Thank you so much. So with that, just going in alphabetical order, Whitney, if you want to go ahead and tell us more about Aspenty and everything that you guys do, and then the positions that you all are hiring for.
Sure, thank you. I am going to share my screen as I talk too, so just bear with me for one moment. Can everyone see the slide okay? I'm new to Teams.
You are Yep, you are good to go. I can see you on my end of things.
Okay, great. So just to talk a little bit about the company. So as you can see, we are Aspenti Health. We are a toxicology lab that also offers both observed and unobserved collection services to our clients, and our clients being healthcare providers, treatment facilities, any sort of provider that is treating a patient and helping them through their journey through recovery. So our focus is on substance use disorders and pain management programs. So we only serve the population of patients that fall into one of those two categories. We have offices throughout the state of Vermont. Our headquarters are in South Burlington. And we have colleagues that work at what we call patient service centers, which are the locations where patients actually walk in and provide the specimen. And those are located all throughout the state. We do also have colleagues that work on site at client locations, so maybe in a provider's office or a treatment clinic. And then we also have a mobile collections unit that staffs colleagues as well, and that was a result of COVID-19 to make it more accessible for patients to have the collection services and still have that accountability throughout their journey through recovery without having to necessarily leave their home or go into a busy walk-in office where they're then exposing themselves to others, and we're choosing to continue that. So we have that as well. I will go into what we have open right now, which you can see on the screen. I've listed some of our positions. It's not all of them. So I've also provided our website. So the one position that we're really focused on right now, as our locations have all reopened since the pandemic began, and we're really starting to ramp up our services, is the client care assistant position. And what this position is responsible for is to work in one of our clinics, a client or mobile collections. This individual would be responsible for greeting and servicing the patients and facilitating the observed and unobserved collections process. So checking patients in. Can everyone still hear me okay?
Yeah, you broke up there for a little bit, but if you want to just keep going.
I got a notification that my connection wasn't good. So I hope you didn't miss too much, but again, you can ask questions once I've wrapped up. So, but the client care assistant position is servicing the patients, checking them in, supporting them throughout the whole collections process, which again is observed or unobserved, the bulk of them being observed because of the population that we serve. The observed collections play a big role in accountability throughout their recovery. So you see I have quite a few positions listed there. Some of the hours vary a little bit. They are all day shift hours, but some positions start as early as 5:45 in the morning and some don't start until 9 a.m. In addition to that, we've got openings in Burlington, South Burlington, and St. Albans. So all of those positions are also listed on our website. The other position that we've most recently posted is an accessioner position, which is essentially a lab assistant working in our laboratory in South Burlington. And they are the ones that do the receiving of the specimen. So I'm not sure I mentioned it, but the only specimen that we provide analysis on at this point is urine specimens. So receiving and accessioning the urine specimens for the chemists in our laboratory. It's great if an individual has a laboratory background for that position, but it's not necessary. Same goes for the client care assistant position. We do prefer that an individual has some sort of healthcare background, just the nature of the position. It seems that most that are most comfortable being in that situation have some sort of medical background. but it certainly isn't required. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, I've just put a little bit more information about the benefits we offer. These are all full-time positions that we have posted. And so with that, we offer a number of medical benefits: medical, dental, vision, short-term, long-term life insurance. We do have a 401k plan, and then a fairly generous time off, or bank of time off. Colleagues have 2 banks of time off, and that's combined time off and then paid time off, which includes just some miscellaneous days that we award to colleagues for various reasons that are listed there. I've also put the email address, hr@aspenti.com. If you are interested in a person, Aspenti. Hopefully I'm not breaking up. I'm getting the notification again. I'm just gonna, for the sake of time, keep speaking and hope you aren't missing too much. Okay, so you can either email your resume directly to hr@aspenti.com. I'll also put my email in the chat box. Feel free to send your resume that way as well, and let me know that you were at the job fair or viewing the job fair today, or you can visit our website, and our positions are posted there as well. In addition to these postings, we do have a few positions open if you have a software engineering background. I believe we're looking for a software engineer and a machine learning engineer, as well as an e-learning specialist. So those are also posted on our website. Feel free to visit. There's more information. There's a job description for every position that provides a lot more detail than I have today or what's on the screen, as well as a link to apply. And I think that wraps it up. So I can take questions, I think. If anyone has any questions, or in the chat box, I'm happy to answer anything.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll reserve some time at the end, I would say, for some questions, but feel free to post any questions that you might have specifically in the chat. So we will just kind of continuing through. Let's go next to Sabrina.
I had to make sure to unmute. Thank you. So I'm not used to that. I will share a PowerPoint as well. Hopefully it will work. Give me just 1 second. Are you able to see that?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. It says share.
There you go.
There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to try to connect to just a quick, brief video. I will try. You have to bear with me for just a moment.
And if it doesn't work on your end, I do have it pulled up on my end as well.
Perfect. Can you see
that? Not seeing the video. Would you like me to just pull it up on my end?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. Let's do that then.
While we're working with Homestead Senior Care, you may work with a client who needs companionship, or you might have to help a family through hospice. It might be Alzheimer's, or maybe they just need some help guiding through the day. There are many different personalities you may work with, different family dynamics. Our job is to go in there and fit ourselves into their lives.
The caregivers from Homestead, it's just like another family member now. You know, they come in, they start the day with her and interact with her just like the kids would at this point. So it's nice having that for her as well as for me.
I think anyone who is willing to learn from an older generation and help them maintain their dignity would be a good fit for this sort of job.
I started out as a firefighter for the local town as a volunteer. Eventually transitioned into EMS when I was 17. And then I went to work for a local ambulance company, one of the largest in the state, where my coworker recommended Homestead Senior Care. Instead of treating people when they are experiencing the worst situations that they have gone through, I get to see them on a day-to-day basis and help them through the issues, the small issues that they have.
Some of my key responsibilities as a caregiver is to help my client with getting up in the morning, helping them get ready for the day, picking out their clothes with them, helping them with toileting needs, as well as getting their breakfast ready in the morning. And we may have an activity, we may go out for the day, go to church, or go to lunch. That gives them the opportunity to go out in the communities, visit with friends and family.
She plans meals, she cooks, we just have fun together. And we go shopping. Well, she'll take me to the beauty parlor and she'll do my grocery shopping. She's just wonderful help all around. And if we just feel like sitting and talking, we do that too. And I'd be lost without her.
I have learned more in the last 4 years than I've learned any combination of years before that. There's something very precious about the older generation, and I want to absorb as much of that as I can.
One of the things I really enjoy about working with clients is the stories I get to hear. I get to hear about their lives, the adventures they had, sometimes the mistakes they made and how they overcame.
Are you still there? Uh-oh. Are you still there?
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. So,
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Oh, that's
Sorry
okay.
about that. I'm not sure what happened there.
It's okay, no worries. That's okay. It actually was that one was a very great video to share too. Just a little longer than time that we have, but it just kind of gives an overview of kind of what we do here. So, I kind of asked, why do you want to be a caregiver? And really, what does that entail? And so what we do is we provide 3 different levels of service. We have companionship and home helper, which includes, companionship and conversation and meal preparation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, maybe accompanying a client to an appointment, or maybe going shopping with them, go to the grocery store, picking up medications. And then we also have a second level of service, which is personal care. This is where we really get our most calls, which is helping with bathing and grooming, toileting, and incontinence. And then we also have the last level of service is specialized, which we consider advanced Alzheimer and dementia care and hospice. So each level includes some portion of each level. So basically, if you're specialized, you're going to provide personal care and companionship. And if you're personal care, you would be providing companionship as well. So there. So you may ask, do I have to have experience? No, you don't. We do training in-house. It's 2 different sessions. We have a virtual training that's about 6 hours long. And then we also have an in-person training to help you basically navigate through personal assistance and the assistive equipment, learning how to, use walkers and gait belts, and helping learn how to bathe them properly, and helping them with bathroom etiquette and stuff like that. And also, it's just a great way to meet some of the other caregivers. So our pay is between $13 and $17.50. It really depends on the services that you're providing to the client. And then we do have benefits. So for both part-time and full-time employees, we're looking for caregivers in Stowe, Burlington, and surrounding areas, but we do serve 5 different counties. You must be able to successfully pass a background, drug screening, and reference check, and you must be 18 years or older to apply. If you are interested in becoming a caregiver, here is our phone number for the office, my email, and also the direct website, because we are franchise owned, and I want to make sure that you're pointed to the right franchise. So homeinstead.com/483. So, and our mission is enhancing the lives of aging adults and their families. So please let me know if you have any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Appreciate you taking the time to go through that, and for folks for bearing with us on the connection as well. So with that, we'll turn it over to Susan with Loomis. So Sabrina, if you want just to click the button where you'd share your screen to unshare your screen, that would be great. Thank you. So Susan, yeah, go right ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay. As far as Loomis Armored, we've been in business for over 160 years. We have 24,000 employees spread over 20 countries. We basically transport, secure, and guard money. So our customers are primarily large banks, retail establishments, restaurants, folks that deal with a lot of cash, coins, and receipts. So we also service ATM machines as well. Of course, Loomis, when you're transferring money, which is very important, especially during this pandemic, we are essential workers, that's no doubt. The majority of the positions we're trying to fill in the Burlington location right now are what we considered an AST, or an armored service technician. These folks will go out in the large $6,000 to $8,000 or pound trucks. They're going to service the clients. One is usually the driver. One is the messenger. We secure the money. We go into the retail or banking establishments. We collect their money. We take it back to the vault. We have folks at the vault that will reconcile and confirm that the money that we've received is correct. We house that money. We secure it in our vault, which is considered more of a warehouse environment. There's not a lot of windows because of security issues and things like that. It's really entry level. We prefer a high school education, but a GED will suffice. Someone with a military background would also be fabulous, because eventually for these armed service technician roles, you're going to be in full body armor. You're going to be carrying a weapon eventually when you become certified to do so. And then the messengers are also going to be going out to our clients, to our customers, picking up the bags, delivering the bags. We also service ATM machines. So whether you're an armed service technician, to where you go out and load the money into the ATM machines, or you're a cash management service technician, which is another role that works in the warehouse, they're going to prepare these bags of cash that can be up to 50 pounds. They could be coins, a lot of different things that go to different establishments, our customers. So our backgrounds are quite extensive. We have to go back 10 years. Military experience is a big plus. The pay for our armed service technician roles start at $17 an hour. They start probably early in the morning to get these trucks loaded and to go out and be able to service all of our clients on that route. That route can end up being anywhere from an 8 to 10 hour day. Sometimes, depending on how your day goes, it could be longer. Some things in a route, if you think of a FedEx driver or anything like that, you have to finish your route before you can go back to the vault. So it can vary depending on how large your route is. For the cash management service teller that's going to prepare all this money in the vault and count and use money machines and things like that. Some banking experience would be excellent, but strong customer service would work as well. Those positions start out at $14.50 an hour. The shift can start at around 6 a.m. and you can still, again, depending on the volume of work that you need, your day can consist of 10 to 12 hour days, sometimes 8 hours, and that will vary between a 4 and a 5 hour week. Of course, we have full benefits. We have 401k with matching, holiday pays. A lot of our holiday are based on banking, since that's the majority of our customers. And then also I have a video I'd like for Lance to set up that just shows how we are reacting and putting safe measures towards the COVID-19 pandemic. So do you have that?
Yes, I do. It's pulled up.
Thank
and
you.
I'll go ahead and play it, and just let me know if the connection breaks down again. I apologize.
Okay, nope, I feel good about it.
Nope.
That's a
Sorry.
longer one. Yeah, it'd be
Yep,
best to do the COVID.
Okay. Hold on just a second then.
It's the one below it.
Sorry.
That's okay.
One below it. Can you say that again? Sorry, I'm just trying to. I had gotten the email with the link.
I sent it this morning.
Sarah, if you have that
Sarah's
video, would you
email.
mind just posting it in the chat for me, please? The link to that. The only video I had was from yesterday
The one I
afternoon.
sent yesterday.
Yep.
Let me see if I can share.
I've got it. Yeah, I've
You
got
got
it. Yep,
Okay.
I've got it. And here we go.
And to show the trucks and the uniforms and some of our employees.
I'm proud to be a part of the essential workforce that keeps the economy and the country rolling.
And to understand how important my job is during this pandemic.
It's been gratifying to know that we are helping everyone to be able to maintain their living as best possible through our current transit. Due to the challenges of today, it's important we stay vigilant and do what's necessary to remain hard targets.
To reassure you that we will continue to produce the highest quality of work for you.
I'm proud to be able to work as an essential worker here.
Proud to be a part of the essential worker.
Everyone has been doing an outstanding job. As we pull our resources, we're leading the way and we're truly making a difference.
We wear our masks to protect ourselves and our employees.
I proudly wear my mask to keep myself, my family, my coworkers, and the customers safe from COVID-19.
During the pandemic, we worked through social distancing and we have proper sanitation stations, and we're also given these masks that are able to protect us during this time.
None of this happens without teamwork, and teamwork is something that we do very well.
The times are rough right now, but we're all trying our best to get through it.
I'm proud of this team because during the COVID-19 crisis, Loomis have gone above and beyond to help its customers.
Since we want to thank you, our customers, for your continued support during this pandemic.
I look forward to coming into work every day knowing that I'm going to make a difference. And I'm going to help my CIT team support our loyal customers through this extraordinary time.
So what I will do, can you hear me?
Yep.
In the chat version, I'll go ahead and put our Work for Loomis website to where the folks can go and just apply directly. Just put in Burlington and it will show our two needs that we need more drastically, the armed service technicians and the cash service management teller. I'll also put my email address on there as well, to where you can contact me or send your resume directly if you have a problem uploading it on our website.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thanks for bearing with us there on some of the tech aspects of this. As we've said, we're navigating that world, and appreciate everybody bearing with us, as I said. So with that, I think that concludes the employer portion to give the presentation. So I do want to encourage everybody to post questions in the chat. I do see Greg has raised his hand. So I guess just in terms of kind of steps here, Greg, since you raised your hand, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question if you'd like. You are muted on your end if you're trying to speak there. So
okay, I think I figured it out.
Great. Yes.
Yeah, bear with me. I'm new to this too, like the vast majority of us, and I'm a millennial. Anyway, I got a question for all three of you. My background is in accounting, and I've been in the resort industry for a long time now too. Are any of your firms looking for accounting folks like myself?
Great. Thanks, Greg. I guess just in terms of that question, go ahead, Susan. I guess you've got your hand up there, so go ahead and unmute yourself.
Well, of course, a banking background or finance background would definitely be a big plus for what we do at Loomis, especially for a cash service management teller role, because you're going to be standing up 4 feet tall machines. You're going to be counting millions and millions of dollars and checks and reconciling and balancing statements and all of that. But if you're a degreed professional, I don't know if that would be something that you would be willing to look into, what your options are.
Right. Thanks, Susan. I would say too, like just for any of you answering those kinds of questions, if there's any opportunity, if you don't have anything open at this time, if you would, offer any opportunities, or, certainly if you would be interested in at least receiving applications for positions that maybe you don't have open at this point. So I guess as Sabrina and Whitney, if you want to go ahead and respond to kind of in that way, if you don't have necessarily a traditional accounting positions open, but maybe if you're interested in receiving, inquiries for future potentially open positions as well.
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick. We unfortunately don't have anything open right now that fits your background. We do have a finance department. So by all means, if you want to send your resume, I can certainly keep it on file if something does open up, and reach out to you at that point, or would encourage you to check our website. But at the moment, we don't have an opening.
Great. Thank you so much. Sabrina, anything to add from you?
I would have to concur with Whitney. We're kind of in the same situation. We don't have anything opened per se in that type of position at the moment, but I would always be willing to accept a resume and keep it on file for future opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Greg, just from your perspective, feel free to connect with, of course, these three employers, as well as Sarah Toulos, who's posted a couple times. She is our representative in the Burlington office, so if you can definitely reach out to her, and we can definitely work to help you get connected with like traditional accounting jobs. And Sarah just posted her email, so feel free to connect with Sarah, and of course she would be in the loop too if any of these three or other employers are posting positions for traditional accounting positions. So anybody, thank you so much, Greg, for being the first one, I think, of anybody of any of these job fairs so far to ask a question over the microphone. So Ethan did just post, wasn't Luttrell's staffing supposed to be on this section? Yes, they were. Unfortunately, they had a last minute cancellation. So apologies for anybody jumping on that expected Luttrell to be as a part of this session. That was a very last minute drop, unfortunately, but we will be looking to get their information included. I will ask as we kind of move through this, any other questions from job seekers, please feel free to go ahead and raise your hand or just post in the chat. I do want to ask all three of our employers, though, to talk a little bit about COVID-19. Well, I guess before we jump into that, Kira, why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and ask a question.
I forgot that was on there. Sorry about the lawn mowing outside my window. So my question is for, let's see, Espenti. Do you guys require a GED or diploma for those positions? I'm an employment consultant, so I'm just thinking of different clients that I have.
Yeah, great question. I do believe that that's listed as one of the qualifications that we prefer. I don't know necessarily that we would require it for probably for the client care assistant position, depending on what the individual's other experience is. I think, it would just depend on their background, but yeah, I think it would be okay.
Not a cut and dry. And then do you have the pay scale for those positions or roundabout?
Yeah, the client care assistant position pays $16 an hour. And then is that the only one that you were interested in? The accessioner position is going to pay a little bit more, but that depends a lot on the experience. Okay. So it would be a little bit above that number, but I couldn't say for certain what it would be.
Sorry, it's a lot out there. Yeah, that works as a 16 plus by the sound of it. And then wondering from everyone if there is a urinalysis or drug test done.
So I'll just jump in. Sorry. We don't do a pre-employment drug screen. We do a background check, but not a drug screen.
Thank you, Whitney. Sabrina, if you want to go ahead and go next on that one.
Sure. We do require a pre-employment drug screening. It's a 4-panel.
Great. And Susan, I'll pause just a second. I do want to come back to Sabrina and you, Susan, on some of the requirements for the applications and the jobs that you currently have posted. Kira had asked Whitney about requirements for education and whatnot. So I do want to come back to that, Sabrina, but Susan, if you could answer the drug screening question first.
Absolutely. We do a 5-panel urine. We do drug tests. We do full background checks. We do criminal county. You've got these folks that are going to be, carrying weapons, security purposes. Absolutely. We do very extensive backgrounds and physicals as well.
Great. Sabrina, I just wanted to circle back to you. If you could just talk through some of the requirements, if there was, before I do that, Kira, did you have any other questions for anybody? Okay. Sabrina, I guess if you could just talk through, you're still muted, Kira, if you were trying to speak, but.
I was just wondering if Loomis has part-time positions or is it just full-time?
Very rarely do we have part-time positions. Some branches, the ones that I work for and represent, no, we do not. Okay. At this time.
Thank you. That's all from me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Kira. Appreciate you asking the question. Thank you for your questions. Sabrina, I just wanted to circle back to you on any education requirements or training that might be needed or training that you might do, in the probationary period, if you will. And then Susan, I'll circle back to you to answer that question as well. So Sabrina, if you want to go ahead and unmute and just provide any background on any education requirements that Home Instead might have for applicants.
Sure. Thanks for asking that. So basically you have to be 18 years or older. That's one of the things that is a requirement. We do have some candidates that are still in high school but are 18. So a GED is not necessarily required. Preferred or a diploma, but it's not a requirement of it.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And yeah, and Susan, I guess same question for you. Any requirements, education-wise, or any other requirements that an applicant might need to have?
Right. For our armored service technician, we would prefer high school or a GED, but no, depending on experience or any type of military background, we can waive that. For our CMS or our cash management service technicians row, we require at least a minimum of a high school or a GED.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Not seeing any other questions in the chat right now, but I did just want to again do a plug to have people raise their hand or post questions in the chat. If they do have any, we will certainly circle back. Greg, why don't you, I see you've raised your hand, so why don't you go ahead and unmute and turn your video on, and or if you're able to, and go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, I'm back again. Probably for the second time. This question is for you, Kyle. Is the Vermont Department of Labor looking to fill any more, what do you call them, job consulting positions? Because, again, my degree is in I can't even talk straight right now. My degree is in business administration. The curriculum for that includes a class in human resources management. So if anyone needs some HR guys, I can probably slide in there too.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, again, best thing to do is to reach out to Sarah Toulos in our Burlington office with any questions about that kind of thing. I'm not privy to all the openings that the department has, nor that other businesses have across the state. But I can tell you that Sarah would be able to connect you very well with those type of things. So that would be my best suggestion. It would be to touch base with Sarah and the folks in our Burlington office for that kind of question. So thank you so much, Greg. I appreciate the question again. Just to kind of move through, just for our employers, as we're about 2:45 now, I do want to ask about, Susan, I know you shared the video on COVID-19 and certainly appreciate the impact that that has had, and the forethought and the ability to react to that Loomis has had. But I do want to ask each of our employers kind of what the impact has been on the individual companies, but then also on the hiring process. How has COVID-19 impacted your hiring procedures, everything from how people apply, how you interview, to even, the onboarding process, if that's changed at all. Susan, I know you had shared the video. So maybe if you want to go first and just provide a little bit of background on, again, what Loomis has done. And I know you guys, as you said, essential employees dealing with cash and banks and, trying to keep the economy moving. So just if you want to provide some background on what Loomis has done, in addition to what the video that you had shared.
Absolutely. Since the pandemic started, we stopped all face-to-face interviews at our branches. We're doing these type of Skype type calls, mainly just telephone calls with the branch managers or the CMS managers. And backgrounds, since the pandemic, there's so many county courthouses closed and things like that. Our turnaround time can be up to 30 days on getting all of our backgrounds back because they're so extensive. So that has impacted our business dramatically because people have to get back to work. So I always try to tell the folks, our background's going to go back employment depending on when you graduated. But for a armed service technician, we have to verify 10 years of employment. For a cash management service teller, it's 7. And if some of these employment places where they were employed have went out of business or they're temporarily closed, we have to reply on our candidates to have either W-2s, tax returns, pay stubs, and we can kind of override that if we get that proof. But it's difficult right now, but we're working through it until things start opening up completely. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sabrina, I guess just from your perspective on this question, I'm sure dealing with individuals on a very close personal basis has been of a great impact. COVID-19 has been a great impact to you all. If you could just provide just some insight into how COVID has impacted your business, but then also the hiring and HR perspective.
Sure. Well, the hiring process has definitely changed. It's very similar to what Susan was mentioning. So we conduct all of our interviews over Zoom, which has been very successful. So, and then for training used to be in person for both sessions. So the first one on the onboarding, we've now went virtual for that as well. The first one is about 6 hours long. Very interactive and informative. And then the second one still has to be in person because you're demonstrating that you're able to use the equipment properly. And that's usually about a six and a half hour training, depending on how many people are in there. We have smaller classes. So that way, instead of maybe 8 people that are in a class, it's only maybe 4 people in the class. So of course we're practicing social distancing, providing masks, gloves, in some instances, aprons. So, other than that, we've been very fortunate. So we're doing well and staying busy.
Great. Thank you so much, Sabrina. And Whitney, I guess just from Espenti's perspective, how has Espenti really, what's the boy, I'm blanking on my words here. What's the reaction been from Espenti and, especially again, from that HR perspective and the hiring from your role?
Yeah, we are a healthcare facility. So some of our services are considered essential and we did stay open throughout the onset of the pandemic. Many of our patient service centers were temporarily shut down as providers didn't feel comfortable sending patients into a high traffic area. And so that's where we came out with this mobile collections unit that we've chosen to continue on with. We were only closed for a period of time until all of the right safety protocol was figured out for each location, since our colleagues are working face to face with the public. So we have implemented extensive safety procedures at each patient service center as well as at our headquarter location, which includes PPE, social distancing. We've encouraged our colleagues now to start wearing scrubs. It was not required before. Otherwise, we provide lab coats for them to wear over their clothing as well. And then as far as the hiring and onboarding process, same as Sabrina and Susan said, all of our interviews are done via Zoom. We typically always do a phone screen first, but then every interview after that would be over Zoom. And then in the past, we've had colleagues, no matter what location they're hired for, they've always come to headquarters for their orientation and spent a day or two there, depending on the position that they're in. But as we want to lessen the traffic coming into each location, we've now started doing the orientation virtually. So they just report to the location where they were hired. And then everything is done over Zoom, similar to what we're doing now as far as training goes. I think I covered everything.
Great.
If you think I missed something, let me know.
No, that's great. No, that's perfect. I think each of you provided a great background on how your companies are reacting to COVID-19, which again is it's super important, from the perspective of the job seeker and of course the employer, because everybody wants to make sure that everybody is safe. So just again, another plug. Thank you for everybody that's joined. Please feel free again to throw messages in the chat. I'm going to continue through. We have a few minutes left and time for a couple more questions if there are any. I do want to pause real quick. I don't think there is anybody on the phone, but in case I may have missed it, I do want to pause before we circle back for any questions over the phone. So feel free to unmute yourself. If you're muted, it's just *6. But I do want to circle back to a question about company culture to each of these employers today. So I'll pause real quick and then we'll transition to that question on culture. But yeah. Great. So as we are kind of winding down here, I do want to ask a couple of questions just about, what it's like, amidst COVID-19, everything has kind of changed, of course, but, typically, culture at your relative, at the businesses and at your workplaces, wondering what each of you might say about what it's like to work for the individual companies and businesses that you represent. Just anything from events to what it's, again, just kind of an overview and a snapshot and at a glance what it's like to work for each of the businesses that you represent. So Sabrina, I'm going to pick on you to start with this one. So again, if you could just, what is it like to work for Homestead, here in Shelburne?
It's very endearing. You're providing a service to those in need. You're building relationships with the seniors. You're getting to meet different people constantly, but also still building those relationships with those people individually. So it's really a position for somebody who wants to make a difference. So I've been here almost 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. So, and, just training the new caregivers and getting them ready to go out on the field and working with the seniors, it's just an amazing process. So
that's great. Now. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Thank you so much. Whitney, why don't you, I'm going to pick on you to go next. Again, just if you want to just tell us a little bit more about what it's like, company culture, different types of things that somebody who's applying should know about what it's like to work at Aspenty.
Yeah. Well, COVID has changed it a bit, but we're a fairly small company, so we have just under 50 colleagues right now. So everyone works really hard, but we also have a lot of fun. Everyone knows everyone. We're all fairly close, and it's a very collaborative environment. Being as small as it is, everyone works very closely together, kind of helps each other out. We've all dabbled in a little bit of everything, so which is really great. It gives you the opportunity to really understand the business as a whole and how each department kind of fits into each other. On the more fun side, like I said, we like to have fun. When we were in the office, we did a lot of wellness events. We had what we called Wellness Wednesday. And so we would have an event every week focusing on wellness as a whole, whether it's mental, physical, financial, and usually had some sort of event. We had people come on site and do a lunch and learn type of lesson during lunch periods, all the way to, we would get up and do the electric slide for a couple minutes in the middle of the day just to get everyone up and moving. So, of course, the situation now has made it a little bit more difficult. We are doing a step challenge, so we're all getting really competitive. But aside from that, it's just a really good group of people to work with. And the work we do is meaningful, and we all really have a connection to the mission of the organization and what we do. So
awesome. And of course, Susan, if you want to just provide just a background on Loomis and across the country, of course, what it's like to work for them and be a part of the company.
Right. Loomis is a huge corporation, but branches can vary on size. Some of our branches, work 24/7. So there's a lot more folks there. But as far as Burlington, we have a branch manager, we have CMS managers, we have HR to help with questions or benefits issues that you have there on site. Of course, everybody works well together. You usually have the same partner on the truck that works very close together. When I ask that, because I'm a recruiter by blood, that's one of the first things I say, because I want to have something to sell, to my candidates, because it's important to them as well. And one thing they really explain is that it's really turns into a family type environment. Of course, you've got a job to do, but everybody communicates well. They're open. They're there to help each other. Of course, we have the corporate background, with any needs that you might have or issues. It's a lot of hard work, but it takes a lot of folks working together to get it done.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Susan, for that. And thanks to each of you for taking the time today to kind of give an overview. I do want to get some last thoughts just from each of you on any prospective job seeker or partner potentially that has candidates available. So just any last thoughts. Think of it as an elevator pitch, if you will, for any of these job seekers today, or that may be watching this later on. But I do just want to give a plug. As I said, Sarah Toulos and the other teams from the Northwest region for the Burlington and St. Albans offices have been on and have posted their information today. So for any of these, of course, reach out to Whitney and Susan and Sabrina if you have questions specific to their openings and their companies and them as businesses. But if you are just looking for general help, if you're having trouble applying online for any of these positions, you can feel free to reach out to them as well as to our office for assistance. I can tell you the Department of Labor in Burlington and St. Albans also frequently do workshops and have other events similar to this. So please feel free to connect with us. As well as these employers. So just for some last thoughts, I think we'll just go in the same order that we started. So Whitney, if you have any final thoughts from Spenti's perspective, just again, last thoughts for anybody that's thinking about applying, what they should know, steps they should take, anything like that.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, you can apply on the website. If it's easier, it's great if you can send your resume directly to me and let me know that you were here today or you were watching today. If you have any questions that I didn't cover today, anything about the positions that are posted that maybe I didn't talk about, feel free to just reach out and ask. I'm happy to answer any questions. And yeah, if you've got any sort of healthcare background, we've got plenty of positions to probably fit what you're looking for. So don't hesitate to send an email. Thanks.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Whitney. And Sabrina.
My 30-second elevator speech. Well, I think that's great. I think it's a really meaningful position. You don't have to have experience, but really looking for something that makes a difference, especially right now. I think there's so many clients out there that are really looking for companionship and help and assistance and, meaningful relationships built. So I think if you're interested in that type of position, feel free to reach out and go to the website, find the position that looks best for what you're looking for. It's based on really where you live. So we have flexible hours. And I almost want to say it's kind of matchmaking. We look at preferences that you prefer. Maybe you can work with a cat or a dog, in the home. Maybe you're not able to. So we really take those things under consideration when matching you into a client's home. A lot of fun. Shifts can be anywhere from 3 to 4 hours or longer. It just really depends on your flexibility. So I guess visit our website, or give me a call anytime.
Awesome. I think that was 32 seconds. I wasn't keeping track. So but I wasn't keeping track, I promise. Susan, just some final thoughts from you and Loomis.
Sure. More importantly, it's always best to go on to our workforloomis.com. I posted that. It's the number 4. You can find all the positions there. That way it would get into our base. It'd be more helpful as far as for me. You can email me if you have any questions. I'll reply back, give you my direct line. I work very closely with my candidates. These positions are not for everyone. If you're intimidated by folks that are wearing body armor and carrying a weapon, me, if I'm working in a vault, I would be very happy with that. I think that you need to secure that vault. But other folks may be intimidated by that. If you don't want to carry a weapon, we still have other positions that don't require that. So either way, if you have warehouse experience, that would be good as a service teller row. If you're able to count money and stand up and put it through the machines and things like that. But other than that, just apply and we'll take it from there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Just going to turn my video back on just to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. As I said, please feel free to reach out to any of these 3 employers that have joined us. So thank you to Whitney, Sabrina, and Susan for taking the time this afternoon. And of course, please feel free to reach out to our Department of Labor staff as well if you have any questions. But other than that, this, as I said at the top, this was our second job fair of the day and our 3rd region of the state. Lots of random numbers there. Next week we will be doing the southeast part of Vermont. So if you have an interest in that, and then the following week on August the 20th, again every Thursday, typically at 11 o'clock. This was a special session. So typically at 11 o'clock we'll be doing Central Vermont as well. So stay tuned for more information about that. And of course, sign up for our updates. You can go to labor.vermont.gov/jobs for more information. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. And again, a special thanks to each of our 3 employers for joining us this afternoon.
Are you going to shoot us a copy of this recording?
Yes. We will be sending out not only to you as employers, but we'll be sending it out to all of the attendees today and anyone who may have missed it as well through an email. Typically, again, like I said, sign up for our updates online if you haven't already, and you'll be getting copies of both the earlier 11 o'clock recording and this recording as well, in addition to the open positions that are posted on our Vermont Job Link website, which is, just for those that don't know, the state's job board. So again, thanks, Susan, for that question. Thank you. I probably missed that throughout this hour or so. So again, thank you to the 3 of you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, everybody. Bye.